Hello everyone, back to today's third video, doing the second Christmas update for today's third video. So we've already released the weekend forecast. You can find the video to that on the homepage. There's also a written version. You can get that from the buttons at the top of the page. It's going to be quite a cold start to the week, getting a little bit milder later on. CanSIP Saturday has been released. That's just for fun. That's going 6 months ahead with the long-range Canadian model. That video also is on the homepage. And then here on the Christmas updates page, we've got our second Christmas update. So we did the first Christmas update couple of nights ago. We did it Wednesday night, actually, first day of November, of course. That's a very zonal Christmas update, very unsettled, but also very mild Christmas update. We'll see what the second update has to say. Will there be any sign of cold? You'll find out in a moment. Just say that going along with the Christmas updates, Gareth's Christmas Shop has been open, so the green button is just underneath this video, says Christmas Shop. If you click that, it will take you to our Christmas Shop page, and then the key to it all, if you've got any Christmas shopping to do at Amazon, you just click through the Amazon banners, takes you directly through to Amazon, and then from there you do your Christmas shopping as normal. Because you've gone from Gareth's Weathervids to Amazon, we get a revenue fee on the things that you are buying, and a big thank you to everybody for doing that. We'll be plugging this throughout the rest of November and December, so you've got plenty of time to do your Christmas shopping. I know a lot of people like to get in early with their Christmas shopping, so if you want to get in early and it's at Amazon, then go through the Amazon banners in Christmas Shop, and you just don't do anything else differently. Just do Christmas shopping as normal, because you've gone from our website to theirs, but you get a revenue fee on things you're buying. Thanks so much for doing that. So just say a little bit about the model then. We are using the long-range CFS V2 9-monthly forecast at the website meteoseal.fa. Find link to Meteoseal on the links page. It is the midday run, generated midday yesterday. We always try and use the same update for all, the same model update, I should say, same model run, for all of these Christmas updates, and then we can't be told off for cherry picking anything. It's just purely how the charts are coming out. As we go along, you should start to see trends and patterns emerging. Of course, the model might not be getting the wrong trend. Last year we did have a lot of updates that were cold for Christmas. In the end, all of the cold and snowy weather was shunted off down into the southeast Europe, but we won't dwell on that. Let's carry on with this year's updates right now. So as I say, this was generated midday yesterday, 3rd of November. Always a 24-hour delay coming through. CFS 9-monthly forecast, midday run. Let's see what it's showing. We're beginning on the 10th of December here, and we find that we've got quite a complicated scenario. There's high pressure down across Spain and Portugal. There's low pressure around Iceland. So essentially it's a westerly scenario. But we have got pressure rising as well, up to 1,025 millibars over Scandinavia, with some cold air lurking across the east of Europe. Let's run through towards the middle of the month and see what happens here. So low pressure is diving southwards here by the 13th of December, moving southwards into Central Europe, and that's pulling cold air down across much of Europe with it. High pressure is trying to build there around sort of Scandinavia, between Iceland and Scandinavia. The pressure's up to 1,025 millibars. This is having a go at getting things cold here as we're running up into the middle part of December. It's having a real try at it, as it is. We are on the periphery of the cold, with most of it going down into eastern and southern parts of Europe, but it's not all that far away. By the 14th, we've got pressure across Scandinavia up to 1,030 millibars, so it isn't all that far away at all from generating a proper Scandinavian high. Problem is 1,025 millibar area of high pressure over Spain and Portugal. If you want cold weather, you don't want Spain, you don't want high pressure over Spain and Portugal. You want low pressure down there. You want to get rid of that high pressure, but sitting there like Olympic to Spain and Portugal. Let's run on to the middle part of December, and, well, we do start to get the wind into the east. Look at that. We've got high pressure going up to 1,040 millibars then over Scandinavia, with easterly winds starting to move in. Now, most of these easterly winds are actually covering the continent of Europe, so France, Germany, eastwards of that to Poland, eastwards of that towards Eastern Europe, Ukraine, those sort of areas. Improper easterly winds here, bitterly cold air being dragged out of Russia, and a lot of snow will be coming across Europe with that as well. Now, we're just on the very edge of that. I think we will feel the effects of that cold weather, especially so in the south and southeast. You wouldn't rule out some snow showers, and you would definitely have a biting easterly wind there in the middle part of December on tonight's Christmas update. However, very quickly what happens is that the high pressure starts to slip southwards. So we're keeping the core of this cold. You see, it is a deep cold pool now that has moved into Germany. We're keeping it well and truly at bay there on the 17th of December. It is cold, it's frosty, but it's mostly dry. All of the snow and severe cold, and it is quite severe cold, is across many parts of Europe. But it isn't very far away from us at all. They're a really close run thing to getting that cold easterly wind to us. We've got to the 18th of December now. You see, most of the cold has now gone down into the Mediterranean, so it's one of those scenarios where we'd be seeing snow across the Côte d'Azur, across parts of Italy, probably Corsica, Sardinia having snow, maybe a little bit of snow turning up across Mallorca and Minorca too, one of those sort of situations that we had a lot of actually last winter. There was more snow in the Mediterranean last winter than there was in the UK at any point. And it's one of those kind of scenarios again. For us, we're under this ridge, so it's still cold, it's frosty, it's dry. Could be some quite severe frost under that ridge of high pressure, but the real winter cold and snow is down across southern Europe. We're up to the 18th of December. Let's get to Christmas. And what happens on this particular run of the GFS is that as we begin to move into the days before Christmas, the high pressure starts to break down. So we begin to start to move milder air in from off the Atlantic. Here comes a milder pusher there as we get to 22nd on to the 23rd of December. The high pressure is slinking. That takes a long time to do it, but high pressure is slinking back in towards the Azores, the Atlantic. The westerly winds are starting to strengthen, so cloud and rain is beginning to move in by the 23rd of December from off the Atlantic, as low pressure is deepening around Greenland and Iceland. The polar vortex is returning. This takes us to Christmas Eve, which looks unsettled. There's a band of wet weather moving southwards and eastwards across the British Isles, followed along behind by sunshine and showers. This is how Christmas Day looks on this second Christmas update from Gavs Weathervids. And it's Atlantic, it's showery, it's quite cool air that's coming in here, so you wouldn't rule out some wintry showers over the Scottish mountains, but essentially it's a green Christmas, it's a westerly Christmas, and probably a reasonable amount of sunshine away from showers up in the north. Now, as we go through to Boxing Day, what happens is that it starts to turn even more unsettled, so it's bringing proper wet and windy weather in across the country on Boxing Day. A lot of wind and rain moving through then. And as we go beyond Christmas into the Christmas to New Year period, turning increasingly unsettled. This is looking rather stormy here as we go up towards the New Year. Low pressure driving in from off the Atlantic, but it's mild. We're dragging the air in from off the Atlantic. So after that near miss of really quite severe cold around the middle of December and running up towards Christmas, actually Christmas itself turns mild, wet, windy and quite stormy on this second Christmas update from Gavs Weathervids. Now we get to New Year and we find high pressure starting to build in from the south again. So this takes us to the first day of 2018. which looks mostly dry and quite mild. There is wet weather up across the north and west of the country, but actually for many parts of the UK we're under this ridge that's built up from southern Europe, and so that will be a very mild start to 2018, mainly dry with a reasonable amount of sunshine during the first day of the new year. And then I'll just run you through the first week of January so you can see what happens. Well, eventually we find that pressure, after it goes lower again for a couple of days early in the new year, we find that what happens is that pressure starts to rise to our east. So this is taking us to the 6th of January 2018, number 7th, when pressure is rising over Scandinavia, and eventually we do start to pull in some cold air from the east and the southeast again early in the new year. So we find our way back to that high pressure over Scandinavia in the early part of the new year. That is beginning to pull in east to southeasterly winds by the 9th of January. It's turning colder, and there could well be some wintry showers in eastern parts of the country. Excuse me. So the real excitement for cold lovers there is in the pre-Christmas period, where it did get very, very close to pulling in those bitterly cold easterly winds. Real close run thing, just missed us, but it wasn't all that far away. Christmas itself and up to New Year on this second update is unsettled, it's mild, it's westerly, and at times it's quite stormy. So that does follow on from the first update. I suppose we can say we might have a little bit of a trend then, although we're only 2 updates in, and then after Christmas we find our way back to that high pressure over Scandinavia and easterly wind once again. So we'll put this down as a stormy and fairly mild Christmas for the second update. We'll see what the third update has to say, which we're going to do on Monday. That'll be with you same time, same place on Monday evening. Don't forget to check out all the other updates, but we've issued today. And tomorrow, we've got the 9th winter 2017-18 update for you. So all of the regular stuff will be included in that. Things like solar activity, what's happened across Russia and Siberia and Scandinavia over the past week in terms of snow cover. All the things we look at, ocean temperatures, sea surface temperature anomalies, ENSO, that kind of thing. And we'll also specifically be focusing on warm Octobers to see what the result of those years that have warm Octobers can be for the winters that follow them. So I'll be with you tomorrow from 10 AM on the homepage. But that's it for tonight, for tonight's Christmas update. Thanks for watching.